Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be analyzing the state of Nevada in the 2022 midterms, where Republicans have a couple potential pickups. Before I get into it, I'd like to say if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell and leave a comment. With that said, let's get into it. The state of Nevada has several key races up, including the United States Senate race, which I'm going to look at first. Catherine Cortez Masto is running for re-election against former Attorney General Adam Laxalt. This election is one of the highest profile races in the country and is a main target for Republicans. And while many believe that Georgia is the best chance for a Republican flip this November, I actually think it's Nevada. The first reason for this is because of the Democratic Socialists of America takeover of the Nevada Democratic Party last year. The Democratic Party in Nevada was relatively moderate and was able to have a hold on the state through the late 2000s and 2010s. But last year, the DSA took over leadership of the state Democratic Party, which was immediately followed by the resignation of the entire party staff, as you can see here. Socialism still is not a very popular stance for a majority of Americans, so that combined with the mass resignation of the party was already a horrible sign for Democrats in the state this year. The second reason is because of the Republican nominee for the Senate, Adam Laxalt. Laxalt's a very good candidate for the state of Nevada. He's the grandson of former Senator Paul Laxalt from Nevada, so he already has some name recognition, and he served as the Attorney General of Nevada from 2015 to 2019. And he also ran for governor in 2018, and he did lose by about 4 points, but this was in a year where Democrats won the national ballot by about 9 points, so Laxalt was able to outperform the national Republican by about 5 points during a blue wave year, which is a pretty good performance. A lot of people in the media are saying that Laxalt is not a good candidate for Republicans, but in my opinion, that's just not true. The third reason is that Nevada has been trending right since 2008. Democratic performance on the presidential level peaked when Obama won the state by 12.5 in 2008. And then in 2012, against Mitt Romney, Obama won the state again, but this time by only 6 points, which is nearly a 6-point swing right. 4 years later, Hillary Clinton won the state again over Donald Trump, and she won by a 2.4% margin. And in 2020, Joe Biden won the state again, but this time by a 2.39% margin. And so the 2020 election results in Nevada were actually really important because although Joe Biden did win the state by 2.39, which was a very small rightward shift from 2016, this was good for Republicans because it was one of 7 states where Trump did better margin-wise in 2016. And second, it was the first year where the national popular vote swung towards the Democrats since 2008. But Nevada still swung right despite this. This was also the first time that Nevada voted to the right of the country since 2004. So despite Trump's loss both in Nevada and nationally, this state result was actually relatively very good for Republicans. A big reason for this is that Hispanics are trending Republican. According to NBC polling, Clinton won Hispanic voters by 31 points, but Biden only won them by 26. That doesn't sound like a lot, but a 5-point swing in a year where the nation swings over 2 points to the left among a voter group that makes up almost 20% of the electorate is a pretty big deal. If you look at 538's forecast for the Senate race, you'll see that 538 has Cortez Masto winning by a little more than 2, but their 2020 prediction had Biden winning by over 6 points when he only won by 2.39. Their polling average has Cortez Masto up by a little less than 4, and RCP has her up by a little more than 1. And given the polling error of the last few election cycles, it's totally possible that Republicans are being underestimated again. Taking all of this into account, I think it's clear that Republicans are poised to do relatively well in Nevada's Senate race this year. And it's totally possible that Laxalt doesn't win, but I do think he's the current favorite, and he will narrowly win. There's also a competitive gubernatorial race in Nevada this year. Democratic Governor Steve Sisolak is running for a second term, and this is considered one of the most competitive races in the country as well. As I mentioned before, Sisolak was elected in 2018 after defeating Laxalt. He did underperform the national average for Democrats, but like I said before, I think that was mostly because of Laxalt. Now he also has the advantage of incumbency. However, his opponent, Joe Lombardo, is also a very good candidate for Nevada. He has a big advantage because he's the sheriff of Clark County, and if you don't know, Clark County is actually the biggest county in the state, and it's the home of Las Vegas, and usually votes heavily Democratic. It actually swung towards Trump in 2020, and Lombardo, being from Clark County, is going to help him even more. Since it's the biggest county in the state, he'll pick off a lot of votes from the area. He doesn't even need to win the county, he just needs to outperform normal Republicans in the county. I think Sisolak is favored still due to his incumbency, but I would not be surprised if Lombardo wins. Finally, there are some competitive seats in the House of Representatives in Nevada. The old House map had a solid Republican seat, a solid Democrat seat, and 2 right-leaning toss-ups. The new map is drawn better for Democrats. It makes it more likely that they win the toss-up seats, but their solid seat did get a lot redder. This actually opened up the possibility for Republicans to sweep all 4 seats in a Republican-weighted year. And although this year isn't looking as Republican advantaged as it first seemed, it is still possible that Republicans actually pick up some seats that they wouldn't have gotten before. I don't think they're going to get a clean sweep. I think what's most likely is they're going to hold on to the 2nd district here, and they're probably going to pick up the 3rd district. So it's going to be 2-2, but I just thought that I would mention this dummy mander. So that's my analysis of Nevada's races this year. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe and comment telling me what you think. Thank you for watching and have a great day.